Hi, welcome to another video on my channel. And if you're new to the channel, please remember to subscribe and also share the link to the videos and also the link to the channel to other families and friends so that they can benefit. Alright, please remember to also leave your questions in the comment. If you have any concerns about the solutions, any questions, please let me know. So for this video, we'll be looking at completing the squares. Right? So when dealing with quadratic functions, completing the squares is a process that helps you to write quadratic functions in the form y equal a open bracket x minus h all square plus k. Right? So let me just do a little recap. So completing the squares, right, which is the topic, is a process that helps us to write quadratic functions, right? In this case, y equal ax squared plus bx plus c in the form y equal a open bracket x minus h all squared plus k. Right? So we actually use the completing the squares to move from this format right here to this form. Right? Good. So we'll be, and you can actually move through this interchangeably. You can move from one to the next, and this is called the vertex form. So the completing the square method helps us to find the vertex form. It is called the vertex form, V-E-R-T-E-X, vertex form, and this one is called the standard form of the quadratic function. Right? And this is called the vertex form because what happens is this h and the k, they are used to form the vertex of the parabola hk. So those two numbers, you put them together and form the vertex of the parabola. And let me give you a little sketch of what that looks like. So if you have the parabola sketched on your graph, something like this, right? Have your parabola sketched, and the vertex of the parabola would be something like about this point right here, not drawn to scale, vertex, right? So what h and k basically forms, you can consider the h as x and the k as y. Right? So the x value would be on the x-axis. This would come right here, and then the y value would actually come across like that, and the vertex is basically formed by using those two values. Right? So that's the vertex of the parabola right there, where the x and the y meet. So x, y, or you can say h, k. Good. So you can use those two numbers and know what the vertex of the parabola is. So we'll dive into more of this later. So now I'm going to show you how to carry out the completing the square process. Alright, so the first question, write the quadratic function y equal x squared plus 4x plus 1 in the form y equal a open bracket x minus h all square plus k. Right? So, and in order to write this in that form, remember I have to use the completing the squares method, which is our topic. Right? And we're gonna move into that at the moment. So let us bring down the function down here. Y equal x squared plus 4x plus 1. We need it in that form. Alright, So first thing you do, you're going to put back your x squared and your plus your 4x. Now, in order to go along with this procedure, you will have to find a number to add in this section. So once you put the number there that you're going to add, you're going to put back your plus 1. And the same number that you add, you're going to subtract it back from the function. Subtract. Therefore, if the number that you found was represented as a, you're gonna add a and subtract a right here. So again, right? And if that number is 10, you're gonna add 10 and subtract 10. Right? So whatever the number is, you add it and then you subtract it. But how do we find that mysterious number? Alright, I'm gonna show you that right now. So what you're going to do, you find that number by taking b from the function, and remember, a would fall right here, a, this would be b, and this would be c, in the form y equal ax squared plus bx plus c. Right, so the coefficient for the x squared is a, the coefficient for the x squared term is a, the coefficient for the x squared is, the x term is b, and c is the constant. So to find this number now, we would take b divide it by 2, and whatever you get, whatever that is, you square it. Right, so whatever the answer is that you divide, that you get when you divide b by 2, you're gonna square that answer, and that will be our magical number. So in this case, looking at this form up here, b would fall beside the x beside the x variable, and if you look in this, b would be 4. So you take the 4, divide it by 2, and that gives us 2. And after you get this 2, you have to square the 2. That's what the rule says. And this means 2 times 2, which is equal to 4. So 4 is the mystery number right here. 4. So you add a 4, then you subtract 4. Remember, not because you have 4 right here, that doesn't mean all the time you're going to have a 4. Sometimes this number can be different, but we kind of in luck this time, so we got a 4 as what we had before. Right, so we added 4 and we subtracted the 4. So what you do, what happens by doing this, you actually form what is called a perfect square trinomial, and I'm going to go in details in terms of that. So let me just use this to highlight. If you focus on this part right here, and you can go back to when we did factorization, right? So it's important for you to practice a factorization so that when you reach at this part, it can be much easier for you. And for this first example, I am going to factorize this part for this first example, so you can actually see how we get our answer. Alright, so the coefficient of the x squared is 1 in this case. So we're going to take the 1 times 4, put it over here, 1 times 4 equal 4. Right? And 2 times 2 also equal to 4. Let's use these two pairs for now. Now you're going to choose one of this pair that whenever you add them together, it will give you back a 4, which is the 4 that we have here. Right, so if I should say x, if we should choose this pair, because 2 plus 2 would give you 4. If we should choose that pair and it said x squared plus, but instead of writing 4x, you're going to write 2x plus 2x. 2x plus 2x, right, plus 4. We soon come back to this part, plus 4. And if you're going to carry out your factorization now, for each bracket, you would factor out a x. X would go back here because x times x is x squared, plus 2, because 2 times x give you back 2x. Close the bracket. Plus, what is common to both terms? 2, have a x leave, because 2 times x gives 2x, plus 2, because 2 times 2, 4. Alright, and as I always say, we would combine the x on the outside with this plus 2 or positive 2. So that will give us x plus 2 for the outside. And if you notice that in bracket you also have x plus 2 again. So we put our x plus 2. Remember that this is just for this first example. And if you can recall, alright, these two brackets are being multiplied together, right? And if we have a times a, or we have a times a, this can also be written as a square. This can be written as a square, but in this case, x plus 2 is being multiplied by x plus 2, same term. So using this rule, we can combine this and write it as x plus 2 square, right? And if you should observe that portion closely, you would realize that it looks a bit similar to what we have right here, because we have our x value inside, we have our h value, and we have our square. Now, to get the k value, you focus on the last two numbers. So the k value would be as a result of 1 minus 4, which would give you a minus 3, right? Let me bring down my equal. So this would be y equal x plus 2 all square minus 3. And in this case, you would say, sir, but there's a at the front. A in this case would be 1. Alright, let me put that in red because you don't always see it, but there's an invisible one right there. A would be 1. And h in this case now is when you say x plus 2 or x plus h, in this case, is actually equal to 0. So we say x plus 2. So we're finding h right here now. So we say x plus 2, and that is equal to 0. So x plus 2 minus 2 equal 0 minus 2. These will cancel, and we have x equal minus 2. Or h equal minus 2, because we're finding h. So the value of h would be equal to minus 2 in this case, because you have a plus sign right there. And then the value of k would be minus 3. Alright, so I kind of went this route to explain how you would get this down here, but the following examples I will kind of move straight into the solution, so you can see how this actually works without doing the long factorization that we have here. So there's a continuing video that is coming up that actually relates to this, so please stay tuned and view that video as well, as it goes deeper into more examples. So thank you for watching. Remember to subscribe to the channel and share the video links and channel link to everyone that you know who is doing mathematics at the moment. Thank you.